right, welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Podcast. Today I'm sitting down with Atuya and Mr. William. They are owners of PowerInOne clothing line.
What's going on, Khadijah?
What's going on, Atuya? I like that name.
Appreciate it. Absolutely. We're happy to be here. BUThePodcast in the building. It's a special time for us. We're actually about to celebrate tomorrow, October the 15th. Will be our 6-year anniversary. So hashtag Pi06 for all the listeners out there. You can keep doing it for weeks after for this whole 6 year. But Pi06, as we celebrate 6 years of empowering lifestyle through fashion. It's the Revolution's favorite label, PowerInOne Clothing. And Charlotte is like, we based out of 3 locations. Okay. So DC, Charlotte, and LA. So it's good to be home. Brother Will and Brother Carrick, they're here in Charlotte, but I recently, well, not recently, but I've been in the Maryland area, DMV, for about 5 years. So it's always good to come home. And a special shout out to my grandma, because we celebrated her 90th birthday today. So that's why I'm down here today. So, and she's absolutely one of PowerInOne's #1 fans. She loves getting, she's like, I don't want the short sleeve, I want the long sleeve. Give me the hoodie, give me the sweatshirt. And she always rocking, and she's absolutely beautiful. She's, today we actually, I know I'm just talking, but I just get into it like that.
You're good.
But today, this morning, we did our photo shoot for our fall line, and I'll go and let the people know it's going to be called Black Gold. As I got up and said a little speech on my grandma's birthday today, I said, earlier today, I had a photo shoot, and it was called Black Gold for our new line. I said it was definitely right on time, because my queen mother grandma is definitely Black Gold, absolutely. So it was right on point. So I'm happy to be. It's been a wonderful day already, and we're going to keep it rolling right here, right now.
We're going to do it.
All right.
But Black Gold, how'd y'all come up with that?
The line, when you see it, the colors will be black gold. It's going to be that concept. But this, absolutely, we are Black Gold. As we been putting this brand out, it's really a brand that inspires and also hopefully reflects what you have internally. Mm-hmm. We always like to encourage people, actually what you wear, exemplifies what you have inside. So we want to make sure people tap into their PowerInOne internally, and then connect that PowerInOne with the global community. With the community as a whole, and definitely just continue to aspire Black Gold, Black excellence,
absolutely. Black unity,
absolutely, 100%.
Throw that out there.
So that's how we got it, and I think everybody's gonna like it. One thing about our brand is that we have a dope message, but we also make sure that it's dope fashion. So it's something that you're not just gonna get, This is not the and no offense to the $5 t-shirts and stuff like that, but this is the quality that one good thing we're out there all the time. Like, we're hitting the road, we're doing a lot of pop-ups, we're doing lectures, so we're all over the country. And one good thing is when we come back to a city, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, people actually come and they're rocking our gear, and they're like, it still look good, it's still dope. So we take pride in that, and so we're just happy. It's a great time. Last year we got past the 5-year hump, and this is 6 years, and we're just excited to continue to power on lifestyles through fashion.
I like that. Much respect. Well, since you're talking about empowering lifestyles and everything, and what y'all goals are, your mission that's on the website, I actually thought that was really dope. You're welcome. I did want you to go ahead and tell the people what the mission of the clothing line
so it's basically PowerInOne is an idea that you within yourself have the power to affect change. A lot of times that change is going to first inside you. We got to be able to tap into our internal power, our internal strengths, and then once you have that, to be able to collect to the whole, to collect to our community. So look at that piece that you're able to, as yourself, be able to bring to the community. So if we want to make changes in our community, if we want to continue to go along the excellent trend that our ancestors established for us, is to tap into ourselves, and how do we connect that to others in our community to do great things. So we do it through fashion. A good thing about our brand too is, even before we start, all of us are very heavily involved in the community. If it's doing coaching youth basketball, if it's doing service projects, so we bring that within our brand too. So that's the mission behind the company. But like I said, once again, I think a key piece is we have a dope message. But we also,
definitely a key piece. That's what made me wonder.
Absolutely. But we definitely want to make sure when you rock it, though, it's going to be fly. You're going to have some fly gear. So we got the T-shirts. Now we just came out with the pants. You're going to see that later on. Fall line, Black Gold. And we got dresses. So, we're excited. It's a wonderful time. And the great thing about it, the best thing about being entrepreneurs and being out in the community is we're able to connect with our brothers and sisters across the country and international as well. You know, we're getting orders online, you know, from England, from Korea, from Africa. So it's just a blessing.
Africa, you made it.
We did.
Definitely made it if you get it from Africa.
There you go. Absolutely.
So what made you decide to start this line though?
When we were looking at it, so basically, to kind of give a shout out to managing partners, Carrick Faulkner, who's in Charlotte, Ryan Singletary, who's in LA by the way of DC. I'm in Maryland. We kind of thought of a concept that we wanted to have a brand, and we were going to look to have other like high-end outside brands and stuff, and like bring it into a boutique where we would like, you know, sell other brands. But then we thought about it. We thought about that connection that we have with community service, that connection we have with our community, just giving back. So we're like, you know what? It's going to be a little bit more of an uphill battle, a lot more of an uphill battle, because it's easy. You know, sometimes people, they cling to those designs and stuff that they've seen that's been hit over their head all this time. You know what I mean? The more mainstream stuff. But we were like, you know, we're gonna accept this challenge. We're gonna create a brand that people can be proud of, that we can be proud of, that can inspire others, and that we can tap in, you know, to the love from our ancestors. And you know, they definitely have continued to protect and guide our path as we've been on this road. So that's why we came with. So, you know, I'm trying to remember. It's always funny. We always joke with each other, like, who actually came up with the name PowerInOne.
Yeah.
So I don't remember coming up with it, so I can't accept it. But you know, one of my managing partners did it. But collectively, we're PowerInOne, and we've been rocking. Like I said, October 15th makes 6 years.
It's a hit, though. I'm with
Appreciate it.
I like it. So do you think? Well, before I even jump to that question, how do y'all keep up with the trends in society, and how do you keep developing and redefining? Well,
the main thing is definitely collectively. I mean, within our meetings and this out there in our field. One thing when you're in fashion, you have to like be projecting, you know, a year, 2 years down the road, projecting what's going to come out with that. And we have an amazing team as well. You know, consultants that help us out, different age groups. You know, we had a. I'm not gonna reveal my age here, but
you're 20.
I'll take it. So we connect with other 20-year-olds.
Okay,
and they keep us in tune as well. So the good thing about our brand too is that, like I said, I told you earlier that, you know, my grandma was celebrating her 90th birthday, and she loves rocking the sweatshirts and stuff. But also, you know, high school students, we do a lot of fashion shows where we help sponsor and have our gear on fashion lines, and the students absolutely love our brand. So that's kind of how we just stay into the main things. We stay connected to the people, you know, not just via the fashion piece, but also what's going on. The thing about, you know, a lot of times I think a lot of people feel like all of a sudden for African Americans and those with African descent, it's become terrible in certain issues, but those things have been around, and you know, we've been addressing it since our brand started. So with that, like I said, we stay connected with the people. We can stay connected with the struggle that we have going on, and we want to be that piece that inspires and let people know, regardless of how it might look right now, that, you know, we definitely are on top of this thing, and we're going to win because we come from the best. You know what I mean? Like I said, we always say we're protected and guided by our ancestors, so they're with us even in this business of PowerInOne clothing.
True that. Sorry, I'm looking over there. But so y'all aren't sure who really came up with the name, but y'all just, you know.
Yeah, I know who. I'm not going to. It's funny. We have so many. When you're in business, it's you know, and you have partners. A lot of times, it's a blessing that we get along so well. But we like other stuff we joke on. But when it comes to the business of PowerInOne, we like right on it because we all have different personalities. I'm kind of more like the pull the trigger person.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to ring me in. Ryan's more the realistic person, and Carrie kind of gives the balance. Brother William Patrick, you know, he kind of just brings it in and keeps us connected to the community as well. So, so I know who started it, but I'm not gonna give him the nod. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Ryan Lucas, whatever.
How'd y'all all meet though?
So me and Carrick, we went to West Mecklenburg High School.
Oh, with Independence.
No,
okay. West Charlotte.
Yeah, but see, me and William, we actually went to Coolwood Middle School together. Yeah, and so then Will came to West Meck for 9th grade, and then he switched to West Charlotte. But we met Carrick in 9th grade.
Okay.
And then me and Ryan went to UNCG.
A&T.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out.
So yeah, we were like met freshman year, best friends, you know, up that way. So man, yeah, so we just all connected and stay connected. And it's pretty cool because, you know, when you meet childhood friends, it's not often that you're able to continue to keep that bond going.
Yeah.
But now, like, at least once a week, we got to talk to each other. Honestly, it's daily. But at least once a week, we know we got to meet and come to the business approach so we stay connected. It's pretty cool. Like I said, Ryan's out in L.A. I'm up in D.C. and Carrick and Will are down here in Charlotte. So it keeps us connected.
True that.
Yeah.
So what drives everybody to keep pushing for the company?
I think absolutely it's this. I know one thing for me is that when we're out vending and connecting, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do like from lectures from Dr. Umar Johnson. He's been very supportive of the brand, and we do a lot of his lectures.
Okay.
So we do pop-ups there, and then we do other festivals and stuff like that. So one thing I absolutely love is when people come up and just the connection, the vibe that we get from the general public, and they really love our brand, and it inspires them. So that connection, and then also being able to meet other Black business owners that's doing things too, and connecting and vibing and pushing. So that's motivational. And one thing about 2 years ago, I was hanging out. I was keeping my nephew, and I had to take him to his football practice. But earlier that day, he was already out of school, so he went with me to a pop-up. And he was there. My nephew's kind of quiet. But a couple days later, after he came and hung out with me at the pop-up, him and my niece was in the living room, and we were all walking by. And they started saying, "PowerInOne, PowerInOne, PowerInOne." So it inspired my nephew to be able to see, his uncle out there handling business. So it's about that too. It's about building something. One thing, our co-owner Ryan Lucas, he's actually an MC, producer, music. He's working on an album right now called "Liberate Through Economics." So one thing we look at it too is not only, we're a small business, we're growing, but we want to continue to get to the point where we're hiring people. Yeah. We're providing jobs, because when you're able to do that, that changes the narrative too. That changes the respect level.
Like so that giving back thing.
Absolutely. And we gotta, honestly, we always say, we didn't. Our current situation is not our fault. There's been a lot of stuff put in through it, through white supremacy. That has put us in the condition that we're in, but the reality is we're going to have to be the ones to get us out of it.
Definitely going to have to.
So
they're not gonna help.
Absolutely. So
not at all.
Yeah. So we're all about just continue to inspire and let people know that, hey, we can win, because once again, we come from the best. We created this. You know what I mean? And everywhere we go, man. And then one of my favorite taglines, my IG is "Protected by the Ancestors," and we got a shirt that says "Protected by the Ancestors." We got another shirt that everybody loves that says "Guided by the Ancestors," and we truly take that in. Absolutely, 100%.
I like that.
Appreciate
Especially
it.
the protected by the
Absolutely.
ancestors part. I'm like, yo, what is that? I'm gonna have to give you a shirt. that really is dope. So do you think how do I put this? I guess in a sense, how does like social, economics, and politics, how does that kind of impact the company?
Well, definitely. I mean, one thing we have to look at it, even though, like I told you earlier, that starting out, we've been about this. We've been about we kind of saw the handwriting on the wall years before. We just didn't think that all of a sudden it's got tough for our people because Donald Trump's in office.
Before Trump.
Definitely before Trump.
Like, regardless of who's in that office, we've had our same struggles.
Yeah.
But with that said, we do have to admit that, being a business, that honestly our shirts get a lot more looks now. You know what I mean? Because somehow it's kind of been a wake-up call for our community. So, a lot of our designers be like, "Oh, I need to put that on now. Yeah, I'm going to put that on, blah, blah, blah." But I hope that regardless of who is in office, that, we use this time to come together and realize that, hey, we need to stay connected regardless. Absolutely. I don't care if it's, if it's a Democrat or Republican, regardless, they're not doing what they need to do for our community. So it's going to be on us regardless. So let's just stay connected. So we got a lot of energy going right now just because of what people perceive is going on, and the person is kind of projecting and putting it out there and who's in office now. So we want to be able to tap into that. So, that keeps it going, because I feel like we're relevant. Our message is always is relevant since we began, but now it's getting an even bigger look. So, and people need that inspiration too. Like I said, it's easier. If we had made some shirts that had a big FU on it or something like that, or something derogatory, or had the B word or something, honestly, unfortunately, it might sell more than some of our current designs, but we're open for that challenge to change the narrative, to have a positive mindset, a mindset that inspires and encourages the people to tap into, tap into our history, tap into our ancestors to inspire our daily lives.
True that. I was about to say, somebody, I can't remember who told me this. It might have been my best friend. Was like, the best thing that could, no, it might have been my dad. He said the best thing that could happen for black people is Trump getting in office.
Absolutely.
Because everybody pulling it together real fast.
Right. Because sometimes, you know, we fall for the okie doke just because somebody has, you know, a certain skin tone that we have. But if they're still representing the, you know, white supremacy tactics, then it's no different, but we kind of fall asleep. But I'm glad that we're awake, and hopefully we can continue to channel the awakeness to really connect back. And like I said, once again, it's not our fault in the conditions and stuff that we're in, but we do realize that in order to change it, it's going to be on us. So, and then believing in one another, man, and that's something we strive to do. And then hopefully our company lets people know. And, you know, that's a cool thing, too. Like, we definitely get a lot of good feedback about our customer service because we really, like, you know, somebody comes up to our table, you know, how you doing, Queen? How you doing, King? You know, that communication changes the narrative so much.
That family vibe.
Absolutely.
Like, that's my brother, that's my sister.
Absolutely, 100%. That's one thing I really love about being up in the DMV and being over like in Southeast DC, like Marion Barry's area and stuff like that, his district. It's just a lot of love, regardless of, you know, the social economic background or the, you know, it's just a lot of love and a lot of culture. And I really appreciate that and inspires and I love that vibe. So 100%.
True that. With that being said, you said that you do network with like other companies, which is real good because I think a lot of people, if they see someone else doing what they're doing, they try to go into that, oh, that's my competition. Right. And it's like, man, that ain't your competition. That's your brother. Right. You know, that's your sister. Everybody can eat. There's enough out there for people to be able to, if they have the same dream, you know, chase it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
And I wish everybody would get back to that whole family thing.
Like,
that community base.
Yeah. And that's one thing I love too. I mean, when we're kind of on our tour doing pop-ups or doing lectures and doing events, you know, we do run into, you know, other brothers and sisters that might have a t-shirt line, and it's love. Yeah. It's absolute love and it's respect. And we inspire each other. And you know, it's some of the time it's friendly competition. You know what I mean? We got to get on it. But at the end of the day, we're all still going for that common goal. And then we have, you know, within a positive message and inspiring message within our brand. So, you know, we rock with it. So when I see him, I'm going over there buying, you know, hey, you got that 2X, you got that 3X for your brother. Let me go ahead and buy it right quick. And they coming over buying it from us and making it happen, man. So it's great. Like right now, this dope medallion
I like that
you saw when I came in, it's from my brother. He's out of Charlotte, 516 Medallions. Y'all look him up on IG.
Like this is real dope. I'm gonna take a picture of that.
Yeah, so
I got some shoes that could go with that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So, you know, a lot of times I'll throw this on when I'm bending, you know, with our PowerInOne gear and let people know, they shout out and, hey, I want to get that. Go to the website, go to the brother's IG and connect with them. That's what it's all about.
It is.
Yeah.
Building in the community.
100%.
Getting back to who we were as a person.
Absolutely.
So what's success for you? Like, where do you see this company going in the next 5, 10, 15 years? Right.
Continue to, I think, the circle back on what I said earlier, when we get to the point where we can actually start, you know, employing and giving people opportunities. I mean, we do that on a certain level now, you know, as it relates to our consultants or it relates to models or brand ambassadors and stuff like that. But continue to build a brand, and we got some other things coming up soon is going to be really dope to kind of put us in a different narrative, and then give the brand a little bit more exposure. So we're excited about that. But yeah, we just want to continue to kind of build a business that has a legacy. So like my nephew, you know, or William's kids, Ryan's, you know, niece, nephew, they can have something that they can go into and really, like Will's oldest daughter, you know, she's going to be graduating high school soon. So why not buy, my thought process is, hey, we'll buy your, you know, produce your first batch of PowerInOne gear. You go out there and move it, then you're going to take it and take your proceeds and boom, and expand it and give it to your network. So I'm excited about that component of this kind of, you know, building a legacy and having something in a company that people we can give to our kids, give to our relatives, and this continuing to connect and definitely it's an exciting time. Like I said, right now we're celebrating our 6th year, and to look at some of the designs, we've been doing this whole social media push all month long. Looking back at some of our old designs,
you see that progression.
And see the progression of where we at now. Looking back at some of our old photo shoots, and it's just amazing. One thing I know William will say it too. One thing that it really hits you, like you can be somewhere, and then when you see somebody that you don't know, and they're rocking. I think he was in the airport.
I was in Atlanta airport, and I saw somebody wearing a PowerInOne signature shirt, and I felt good. I tried to catch them, but they were rushing to the next flight, so I didn't get a chance to say thank you.
Yeah, so, being on that level is just amazing, and we really appreciate, every year when we get to the time where we have our anniversary, we're appreciative of everybody who's been a part of our journey thus far. So, starting out, it is family and friends pretty much just kind of, helping you out. But then when you start expanding through their networks that you might not know, and then you start, doing events and going different places where you really are expanding your network. So we're appreciative to, super appreciative to the people who just gave us that energy to keep this thing going. So
it's crazy. I wish people would realize that the people really do have the power.
Absolutely.
They have the power to
people.
change.
Absolutely.
PowerInOne, it really is the people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't see that. They think, oh, you have to be on this standard or that standard. And it's like, no, you start building, start
right where you are.
Those communities.
Right where you are,
expand,
definitely.
Make it happen.
Absolutely.
And I do like the fact that you address that you're kind of building, in a sense, for future generations and for your future kids. And I feel like that's what more black people need to do. That's what white people do. They'll start a business, and from there they'll pass it on to their kids.
100%.
Everybody's like, oh, they're getting handed stuff. Okay, but that's their family. Of course, they're gonna be getting handed stuff. That's the same thing. A lot of people need to do.
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
More long term.
Absolutely, and we're looking at too, not just from PowerInOne clothing in the fashion sense, but what about down the road when we got that PowerInOne, cultural center, that PowerInOne, theater. Stuff like that. So that's the mindset of some stuff that we're looking at. And the cool thing too, like I said, our business partner Ryan Lucas, he's an MC, rapper, producer. So we definitely see a lot of the merging and the connection of music and fashion as well. Yeah. So we're excited about where that's going to take us. And like I said, he has an album coming out very soon, Liberate Through Economics. So make sure y'all check him out, RyanLucasDC.com, to stay connected with his movements as well.
And you said he was a producer or like a rapper?
He does, yeah. He produces his music. He's a rapper, MC. He actually, his last album, he translated it also into a poetry book. So a couple of his more recent albums have kind of been a journey through relationships and stuff like that. So it's been unique. I was on. It's funny. I was on it. Right. I was on his last joint. I did a little poetry on that joint, and this one right here, Liberate Through Economics, I was able to drop something. So I'm excited about it, man. And like I said, it just connects us, and pretty much with us and our team, whatever we involved in, we bring the PowerInOne brand to it. You know what I mean?
Smart, though.
Yeah, we bring it. So it's a natural fit. So we're excited about that album. We're excited about all the great things that all our team is doing.
Cool though. You do poetry though? Like seriously, or it's just
what, like
like something? Cause
shout out to
you want to do stuff, right, but you just
shout out to Miss Blue, West Mecklenburg High School, 9th grade. She always told me, she's like, you are a great writer. And it's just been cool to be able to kind of link back. And it was funny, like Ryan was working on his last album, and I just went over to the studio just to kind of hang out, chill out. And I just kind of wrote something right there and went in and dropped it, and people liked it. So you remember haikus?
Yeah.
Like I used to write haikus back in the day. So it's something I want to get back to. And I know when I was when me and Carrick, other partner, we were actually getting our MBA together, and we were in school together, and one of our professors had he was just talking about, in the morning you should just wake up and start writing, getting those thoughts out. So I kind of started trying to link back to that. So yeah, that's kind of an untapped thing, but it's cool, like just to kind of get on the, cause I kind of got the, the Barry White, the Midnight Love.
You slide up to the mic like David Ruffin.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of cool that I was able to write it, then like do the little voice and be on the album and get to hear it. So now, I joke around now, like, cause he has a station on Pandora or whatever. So I'm like, yo, my name is on. You know what I mean? I'm happy about that. So it's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
I'm like, let me go ahead and get my stuff together. I'm gonna meet him and drop a quick bar.
There you go.
That's cool though. What would you tell someone who's trying to get into the business?
Definitely stay connected and find your passion, and realize that the journey is going to be tough, but you have to realize why you're doing it, and do something that you're passionate about. Okay. Absolutely do something that you're passionate about. And realize that, you might get support, you might not. You know what I mean? You might get support from those that you never thought would support you, and those that you thought was going to support you, they might not do it. But just have a plan too, and definitely continue to. We were talking about writing, but write down those goals. You know what I mean, and connect back to it and make sure it's relevant to what you're doing. But just kind of have a defined approach. When we got into it, we kind of jumped and just kind of jumped into it type of thing. So there are some things that we look back on it, we might have would have did a little bit different, but it's all worked out. Thankful to the ancestors. It's been a good journey. But I would say definitely identify something as what you're passionate about. Don't just say, hey, well, it's something I think I can make a lot of money off of, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to take time. It takes time. A lot of times people say if you can get over that 5-year hump, then maybe, you're kind of on the right pace. So it takes time, but find something that you're passionate about, something that actually makes a difference.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I think that's important too, like something that significantly makes a difference, not just for yourself, but your community.
Yeah.
Because I don't, honestly, what greater thing there is that you can do is is doing something that's going to impact and uplift your community, uplift your people. Like, I think that's like nothing. It doesn't get any better than that. Yeah. So if you can do something that's going to inspire your community, that's going to maybe hopefully be able to provide jobs for your community, provide inspiration, motivate your youth, I think that's great. And that can be done in all. It doesn't have to be done in fashion.
Yeah.
That can be done in all different businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say. That's what I would say. Because once you have that passion, a lot of other stuff will trigger. And you got to have your financial plans and stuff.
Man,
too.
Financial plans. That'll get me tough.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sell you a bill of goods here. You got to have the.
Give them the good and the bad.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
It's real out here. Man, I'm trial and error right now.
There you go.
Just rolling with the punches.
There you go.
Happened to went and got a shirt, ran into him at A&T, started talking to him, and I was like, man, he was like, nah. But I was like, I'm going to ask anyway, shoot my shot, and if he say no, I ain't never going to see him again anyway. So it is what it is.
That's what's up.
And by the way, I love the name of your podcast, too.
Thank you.
BlackUnity, straight to the point. I like that.
Straight to the point.
I like that.
Thank you so much.
100%.
That's what's up, though. I do like how you touched on a lot of things that I feel like a lot of people talk about but aren't doing it, because you were like, create those jobs in the community, help our youth, which is definitely important because that's the future. And I'm so sick of getting on Facebook and seeing these videos, and it's like, people need guidance.
Right.
I need guidance.
Right.
Like every year, like, I know more now, but I still need a certain level of help, or don't go down this path, because I look back and I'm like, dog, I would have did some things differently too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing, I think, with us and our team is that we're definitely about our business.
Yeah.
We're definitely serious about our company, but we also like to have a good time. And we are able to connect our brand to some cool things. One thing we do every summer in Charlotte is an Empowering Lifestyles Weekend. This past year was the 7th year we've done it. So it's a collection of a 5K race, of health expo, service project, a yacht party, and then we also
when do y'all usually have this?
So this is the second weekend in July. It actually, one of my best friends, he also went to school with me and Pat. Shout out to Four at Coolwood. Our birthdays are like 10 days apart. So originally it started out as our 30th birthday. I told my age.
He meant 20.
Yeah, I meant 20. But it started off as our 30th birthday celebration. And then from there, he started his own business, like a fitness studio. And that's when we started the clothing line. So the following year, we were like, why don't we connect our brands and then also connect with some local nonprofits and do, a weekend that incorporates fashion, incorporates health and fitness, and also incorporates celebrating my birthday every year on the yacht. But it's been cool. Like, it's been super cool. And so at any given time, you can have 200, 300 people in Charlotte, vibing and connecting. And then, like I said, we always connect with local charities and doing some stuff with, especially a lot of youth organizations that's doing stuff in the community. And it also gives the opportunity for us to kind of have like interns and youth to shadow us, to actually look at how you produce something like that. No, like, how do you produce a 5K race? You know what I mean? How do you make that happen? How do you go about reserving it? How do you go about making sure you got your, medical technician on site and all of that stuff? How you go about getting the race T-shirts, the registration? How you go about booking a yacht party? All of that stuff. So, yeah, we're excited about that. And like I said, that's the good thing about our brand is that we really connect and and build those. And that's one thing I would encourage somebody as an entrepreneur to build those strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
Those are extremely helpful because a lot of times it gives you an opportunity to connect your network with another business's network. In DC, we work with an organization called Fly, and they're like a entrepreneurial mentorship that they do for athletes, high school athletes, middle school athletes, but also teaching them how they can win off the field, not just about being on the field. So giving them internships, just giving them how to write a resume, elevator speeches and stuff like that. Absolutely. So we connect with them. One item we did a couple of years ago, we did a snapback, and it said Inspire. So every time you went online to purchase that hat, we gave $5 to that nonprofit organization. So we do stuff like that. So those strategic partnerships are amazing too. So make sure you always connect that as well. And it is good to have that journey with others as they continue to do stuff, and connecting y'all do stuff together. So
that's dope. I'm gonna go ahead and shout somebody out real fast because you said that this guy who, what's the name of it? It's For the Culture. They do. Okay. They're starting like short films and stuff.
Absolutely.
For the Culture. I'm gonna cool. Tag that or something.
Cool.
But he was saying that too. He was saying that you can't really expect to expand if you only dealing with this group of people. You got to get out there. You got to network. Or you're really not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. It's crazy. I just talking about Fly, like Courtney, who's the executive director of Fly, he found out about our brand through somebody he went to college with, that we actually did something similar to, doing the donation front with the item that we sold. And one day he just like you said earlier, shoot your shot. He hit us up, boom. And now actually me and him actually had an opportunity. Also, I'm in the park and recreation industry, so we actually presented at the National Park and Rec Conference in New Orleans a couple weeks ago. Had a presentation that said, "What's your awesome sauce?" So basically, looking at what's your strengths and how to, once you know what your ingredients are, your strengths are, how do you connect that and build your ecosystem? So this out of that, him shooting this shot, our brands have connected, but now we're doing national presentation to like nearly 200 people together at a conference. So whenever the power of connectivity is very strong.
Definitely. Much respect, though.
Appreciate it.
I'm like, well, y'all want me as an intern? Because I definitely what application I got to put in because I need help. I mean, having questions. And I do like the fact that you address certain things and that y'all do take on interns. Because a lot of people don't know. Like, I was telling my homegirl, because sometimes we'll just bounce ideas off of each other, and she was like trying to calm me down for this. And she was like, well, ask them how to get started. Ask this, because this is stuff I don't know. People don't know, and then people get on social media and like, oh, I got this, and it's like, cool, I support you, but can you let me know? Like, because people don't know how. They'll have a vision, have a goal, and they don't know what to do with it.
And it's not always about just like them learning for us. We learn, like we had one of our consultants, and we started out as an intern, Arabia. Shout out to Arabia. She actually, right now, she's getting her master's degree, and she's doing a project now. And the project that she's working on, it kind of looks at like marketing and expanding the brand on a global sense. And like the stuff that she's brought back with her project and that she's working on, she called me up a question like, that type of stuff is going to actually help us out too.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool I remember going when she was in undergrad, going to her presentation that she did about our company, to her course, and she was so nervous because I was there, but it was cool then to kind of just see her progress and actually going back to get her master's like in a marketing field. And I always joke around and tell them like, Arabia, you're a star. Remember, you're a star. And absolutely love what she's doing. So that's the cool part. Like, so like I said, it's not just what we might be able to provide a learning experience for interns and those that might want to learn more about our company, but they help us out, and like we learn so much from them as well. So
it's like they're helping each other, and that's why I keep trying to explain to people like you can't do nothing by yourself. Even if you think you can, you may have the resources. You're going to need help at some point.
100.
So why not build those relationships, build those bonds, help each other. Everybody rise together.
Absolutely.
You're like, you ain't competition. You my fam. We good.
Right. 100.
It's crazy though. I'm like, maybe I should just pull out my phone, get on Snap or something. Put it on there, take a couple of pictures.
That's funny.
We on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Shout it all out.
Yeah, PowerInOne all together. And then PIOclothing.com. PIOclothing.com. Stay connected with us. For those that have the gear already, like I said, October the 15th makes 6 years for us. Use the hashtag Pio6 and hashtag PowerInOne, and tag us the next couple weeks. Go to the website, pioclothing.com. You're going to see that new black gold line out there. We got the We Don't Need Your Approval hoodie is out.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Was it the hoodie or the?
Yeah, you might have saw the T-shirt.
It was
I think we had it both, but now it's going to be online now.
Oh, okay.
Like so many people saw that hoodie during A&T's homecoming because we had it at the pop up. We hadn't put it online yet. I want that hoodie. We got the baseball jersey out. We got the Afro Cool line is out as well, which is dope because Ryan's one of his dopest songs that he's created is called Afro Cool, and it's not just about having an afro because as you can see, I don't have that, but I'm rocking the Afro Cool. This is a mindset, so you don't have to have an afro to have it, but it's just a mindset, and it's pretty cool. It's a dope concept. So we got the Afro Cool line on there. We actually got a new dress as a part of the fall line that the ladies are gonna love. They got the Afro puffs on there with the Afro Cool written on there.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
So y'all definitely check it out.
Long sleeve dresses or?
This one it's a short sleeve. We've done a long sleeve in the past. That one that was long sleeve actually had a lion on there, like lion force. You know what I mean? But so it's short sleeve. But check it out. It's gonna be. I think people are definitely gonna. I know people are definitely gonna love it. I trust that people are gonna love it. Absolutely.
To you. Tell her why that We Don't Need Your Approval shirt is so important.
Yeah, I think one thing. A lot of times people feel like, I'll be honest. When you get to a point in life when you're free, and you're not worried. With me, I'm also in the parking rec industry. But I'm just confident that, I don't have to shuck and jive or nothing like that. I go when I'm there, I present at a national conference. Yeah. But I am who I am. I don't shuck and jive. I do my job well. I know what I know. I have the skill level that's great, and I bring a lot to the table. But I'm not going to shuck and jive. So I think it's just a concept that we don't need their approval. It's letting us know as black folks, as Africans that, we don't have to get a sign off or something. Because the thing is, if you start playing that game, you're always going to have to continue to play that game.
Definitely.
So just, a lot of times, just stay true. Because a lot of times, those that don't stay true, down the road, it might seem like they winning, but down the road, they get their wake-up call, and they come back, and all the stuff that they sold out for what?
And it's like you don't got the support team behind you because everybody.
Yeah, so like I said, we don't need, like I said, it's not gonna for us to change our situation. It's gonna be on us. Yeah. And we don't need their approval to make that happen. So from white supremacy to the system to corporations, all of that, we don't need their approval. And we gotta tap into one another. It's an uphill battle. Believe that. Don't feel like that we're saying that this is easy. No. Is we're looking at a systematic system that we have to tackle, but realize that once we collectively come together and once again tap in internally, realizing that you have power, man, like and to be like I said, to be free and to with some of our designs, sometimes people say, I don't know if I can wear that in my town. I don't know if I can wear that, but like, come on, like be free. Yeah, I'm just saying this be when you're free. And when you're free and you stand on truth and you stand on facts and you definitely 100% tap in that you're protected and guided by your ancestors, all that other stuff, whatever, whatever. And if it is to a point where all that other stuff and we might potentially be negatively impacted, but at least go down with a fight.
Definitely go down with a fight.
You know what I mean?
I mean, what we're doing now is not getting us anywhere.
Absolutely.
So, and I wish people would realize that I don't care what nobody say, we are favored. We are highly favored.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just really how I feel. I feel like we're favored. I feel like we are royalty. We already have everything we need. Mm-hmm. We just got to, like you said, tap into it and do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, yes, you're going to have to fight for it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I just think about, like I keep shouting out my grandmother to celebrate her 90th birthday. But I remember a few years back when I was going on with a situation and I was making a decision to leave a comfortable salary to go in a different direction because the respect level just wasn't there. Yeah. And grandma was like, you're going to be fine. Definitely.
That's all you need. Your grandma to say it.
Yeah. She's like, stand on who you are. And oddly enough, during that same period, I was selected as the top young professional in my industry that year. And I made the decision that I was going to bounce from a company because I didn't feel respected. Yeah. And that same time that I was there, and another opportunity was given to me within a week of me saying, hey, I'm leaving this joint. But you know what? This was because my grandma gave me that extra push, that wisdom, say, hey, just stay true to who you are, and stay true to being genuine, stay true to not playing a game. Things are going to work out. And, I'm not saying that they're going to work out within a week like it did for me.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, when you stay true and tap into that internal source, and like Dick Gurley always used to say, Baba Dick, that universal God, like that's where we tap into, and then to tap into our ancestors, everything's going to be all right. Absolutely, 100%. I believe that.
True that. I like how you keep saying tap into my ancestors. It reminds me of a book, 144 Proverbs.
Okay.
Getting back to your African descent or something.
Gotcha.
By Maurice Lindsay. I was like, who wrote that book? But that's what it reminds me of, because he kind of stresses that a lot, like just going back to who we are, and we don't, if you go back to who you are, you're gonna be fine.
100%.
Instead of trying to, play this game. But I do like the era we're kind of in now, because it seems like a lot of people are fed up.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of people, even with just going back to the I'm natural, I'm not doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to embrace who I am as a person.
Right.
And, rocking the tees.
Mm-hmm.
It's much respect. I had this conversation earlier with this girl named Megan. She's a white girl or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We were having this. It wasn't even a debate. It was really just a conversation.
Right.
Because she was telling me her points and things that she experienced and started seeing that she didn't know before, because she never had to, deal with it. And we got on like the whole T-shirt thing. And I was telling her how one time, like a group of us were out, we were eating, and I had a shirt that said, it was like black or black something on it, and people were worried for me. Because we were surrounded by a bunch of white people, and they're like, man, you want to put a jacket on? I'm like, no, I don't want to put a jacket on. I want to wear what I want to wear.
Absolutely.
I mean, people get these shirts, they have Confederate flags and all this. I can't wear a shirt about my culture. Me being happy about who I am as a person, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely, it changes the narrative. It also, it's a conversational piece too.
Yeah.
It's so many, like the shirt that you're rocking today. I love my history. I love my culture. I love my people.
Great
that you can get at PIOclothing.com, the Revolution's favorite label. That shirt right there, like, it really has a conversation piece. Like, people see that, but also when you have something like that and you can rock it, sometimes you ain't have to say anything. The fact that you put on a shirt like that, it lets people know before, when you walk in the door, the type of person that you are as well. And it just goes a long way. So
let me say this. White folks do not worry about what they wear around black folks.
They definitely don't.
When they pick their clothes out in the morning, the last thing on their mind is what black folks gonna think about it. But when black folks buy a shirt, we gotta sit and debate what white folks gonna think about it.
I would say all hell breaks loose. They're like, what is going on? Like, you threatened because I got a shirt that says black? Like, come on. It's crazy. Nobody got time.
Like I said, you got time for that. You gotta be free. You gotta make that statement. And the thing is, if you can't, when we stand up and we have, self-pride, cultural pride, realize you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your children, you're doing it for a legacy, you're doing it for the future. So, and a lot of times, and me and Will always talk about this, it's a tough decision to realize that some of the things that we have to start now, we might not see the full, being the full benefits of it in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's tough to grasp. Because a lot of times people, and especially a lot of times African Americans, we jump on certain issues, certain topics that we can see we can see it change quickly. You know what I mean? 'Cause I guess it makes us feel better. But to be able to say, hey, you know what? In order to change this, that we're going through, the results of white supremacy, this is a systematic approach that we're in, that we're going to start doing stuff now, that we might not see in our lifetime, but we're going to do it for our future. That's a special thing to tap into. It's tough, but it's a special thing to tap into, and realize we got to start making moves right now in order to change the narrative. So, like I said, we do it through fashion, we do it through community service, we do it through just inspiring others, we do it through economics, and so continue to stay connected with us. We're the Revolution's favorite label. PowerInOne Clothing.
You need your own commercial. When I be on a commercial, I just want to do like ad libs or something in the background.
Cool. I'm with it. Let's make it happen.
We'll make this happen.
Yeah.
You call me when you're ready.
100.
I already got my ad libs in my mind.
I got you.
I'm wearing a shirt and everything in the background.
You'll hear with his card.
Probably. Oh, I was like, what?
Social media.
I thought it was candy or something he was handing us. But, dang, what was I about to say? Oh, I do like the whole y'all using y'all platform, because a lot of people are afraid to do that. Feel like if I use my platform and I'm still getting to that level, you know, progressing, it's going to get taken from me, or I'm going to get this negative feedback, or people are going to stop dealing with me.
Right.
But even with the Colin Kaepernick situation, I mean, I respect that he does it. I love it. I just wish people would stop taking stuff out of context. Like, oh, he don't like white people. What? Like, how did you get that? This is about police brutality.
But let me say this, Khadijah. They know what's up. It's the deflection and confusion game. See, the number one thing that white supremacy does is play the confusion game and deflection. They know what Colin Kaepernick is standing for.
Yeah.
They hoping they can get you off track and start talking about some side issues that don't have nothing to do with what he's standing for.
The flag, the military,
the flag.
Yeah. They know this ain't got nothing to do with no veterans and no flag.
Right.
They know that.
Right.
They out here wilding, and I don't like that because of the fact that we lose the point. We had he had people like, okay, I can see, like, even with the white woman I was talking to, she was like, at first when she saw it, she was like, that's so disrespectful. He doesn't like the country, or, you know, all this other stuff. But she realized what it was about from watching, and it brought awareness to those issues. And now with all this other stuff, like, oh, we don't like the military, they don't like this, and I mean, it's crazy. Even from with the white lady who threw the drinks on those two guys and was like, you know, this is for disrespecting the company, whatever she said. But it's like, but you're supposed to be a Christian or whatever belief. Like, she puts herself on this high platform, and it's like, I do this, I help, and I want everybody to be loved. But then you do a drink on people, posted it. Like, you had the balls to post it. And I was like, people getting crazy. They getting real bold out here.
Yeah.
Real bold.
It's funny. It's funny. One thing I just, with everything too, is that we tap in collectively and our PowerInOne and stay on code too. Like, if they try to change the narrative, you know, people to get interviewed and stuff, you don't even have to say that little comment, oh, you know, this is no disrespect to the flag and no disrespect. You don't have to say that. Yeah. Just stay on code. We're talking about police brutality against black folk. And that's the thing I love about Colin Kaepernick, is that if you go back and look at what he's talked about, and even his former teamate Reed, right now, you know, they stay on code. Reed. You know, they keep bringing it back to what it's all about. So, like I said, we don't have to talk about the other stuff, because that's not what it was meant, you know, anyway. So this as a people, we need to stay on code. When they want to talk about other stuff, you know what? No, I want to talk about police brutality. That's why I want to continue to keep this conversation on, because eventually, if they don't like it, they'll just go. They'll cut the cameras off. Yeah. But we just got to stay on code with that. And you know, definitely salute the Cap, man. I know for me and Will and the brand, I always tell people, it really wasn't. It's not a struggle. It's not a major sacrifice, because our ancestors have done bigger, way bigger sacrifices. But you know, for us, not to, you know, we Panther fans. You know, I've been. Oh, there you go. You know,
just throw that out there.
I was at the, you know, when the Panthers went to the Super Bowl, me and my pops was right there. You know, I go to mostly a lot of the games. We would have like tailgates in the beginning of the year, PowerInOne clothing tailgate. But you know, we canceled all that stuff this year, because here's the thing too, and one track that Ryan's working on, and that I'm a part of, is called "Worthy of the Revolution," and too often I feel like that we wait until it hits us on our doorstep, when we should realize that it's on our doorstep when a brother or sister, I don't care if you know him personally, but if he is of African descent, you know, it's on your doorstep. But too often we wait till it hits our doorstep. And no disrespect to those who have lost their life to police brutality, and the mothers and people like that. But I wonder, did they even care about that type of stuff before it happened to you know? So, and a couple lines that I wrote that's going to be on that track, that I just said, you know, I didn't wait for, you know, I named my niece and nephews. I didn't wait for Hayden. I didn't wait for Tyler or KC3 to lose their lights before I actually gave a damn about my folks. And that's what we need to get to. We need to give a damn now. So, you know, to those that have decided to let the NFL season go and, hey, bump it, I salute you. To those who decided not to, no condemnation, none of that. But for me, it's like, yo, you know, Cap stood up. You know, he used his platform to stand up for us. So the least we could do is, because the one thing, too, I'll say this, it's so funny. People always have those hypotheticals if I was back there with Malcolm, or if I was back there with Martin or Rose, I'd have been right there with him, blah, blah, blah. So this right here, the Cap situation gave people an opportunity to say where you really at, what you really gonna do. And wasn't no more hypotheticals. And like I said, it's really not that big of a thing. It's just a game. Yeah. Like honestly, me being the DMV and being a Panther fan, we would have to go to a bar somewhere, spend money to be able to watch it on the direct, on the station or whatever.
Saving the check now.
I'm saving money, and honestly, like it is what it is. Like, I salute Cap. We stand with Cap. Definitely. We support Cap. And let people just stay on code. Keep the message out there. Keep putting it to the forefront, and don't always just depend on the celebrity or the athlete. Yeah, and don't be all super critical. Well, they not doing it, or these should be doing it. Blah blah blah. Well, what are you doing? On the local level as well. What are you willing to stand up for? So we just got to make sure we're tailoring that message and staying on code and supporting it. But I think it's key to those that are willing to stand up for us and use their platform. Make sure we support them. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think Cap, he had his website and he got clothes on there and stuff. Go there and flood it.
Too, for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So we should.
Back.
Yeah, 100%. So go to his website, flood his stuff, buy his stuff. But go to people's sites, go to the Read site, go to people's sites to do stuff, and are willing to step up and support them. We got to do a better job of that. Don't just do it with your words. Don't just do it with your Facebook likes. Go put some money in their pocket too and support them because they stand up for us.
They're doing a lot. That's why I was kind of sorry, it's a bug. What is this? But just people giving him so much. Honestly, giving him so much shit for it, and it's like, look at all the stuff he's doing.
Right.
He feeds the homeless. All those suits he gave, he bought all those suits and gave it to men so they could get jobs. He has all these programs. That man does a lot, and you mad because he's standing up against police.
Yeah, and then a lot of times
that's crazy.
The mainstream media is upset, and then I'll say this too. Some of the old guard, as it relates to those that were, I guess, part of the civil rights movement, I feel like that. You got to come through them in order to be a part of civil rights movement or social justice. They upset too because they feel like he got to come to them. The I think Cap should speak and blah 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 this and that. Well, you know what? He's doing stuff. Yeah. He's just mad that he ain't coming to your little platform and doing it. And a lot of times, we don't have to. I think a key thing is we're not always having to come to the mainstream, media to share our message. Bump that,
at home.
Yeah. Move in silence sometimes it's a better move, you know what I mean? I think that's why a lot of times they're critical of Cap too. They will, feel like he's not coming in. Like I said, unfortunately, some of, the old guard, they feel like, oh, he didn't come through us to get the sign of approval, so I don't know, you know what I mean? Nah.
And why does man need y'all approval to, take a stand and do the right thing?
Right.
And I like I said, I really love the fact that you went ahead and pointed out that you don't got to wait on these celebrities to do stuff. That gets on my nerves. Like, I'll see people on social media or Facebook, like, why she ain't do this? Why she ain't do that? Why you not doing it?
Right.
Like, celebrities, some don't even pay attention after they get to a certain level. And then luckily you have the ones like Cap who's watching and who's going to use his platform, or even when the whole Eminem cipher everybody's talking about now, which it's him. He always says it. I'm like, you're just now listening because all this stuff, but it's always been like fuck Trump, or like this ain't nothing new. But I really do respect him for still saying it again. But everything starts from home. Everything starts from the community. Like,
absolutely. And there's brothers and sisters here in Charlotte and in DC and LA that have been doing stuff on a daily basis. So make sure you get out there and not just support Cap, not just support the celebrities that stand up, but get involved with those that's doing on a daily basis that needs your support. Salute to one of our sisters, Congo. She go by Congo Queen, Camille. She does so much stuff in the city of Charlotte. And then, when it comes to disaster relief, the hurricanes and stuff is going on, she's, coordinating trucks, to take down, like I think they're going to Houston in the next couple of days. And just doing positive things, as it relates to having she has a daycare, and they have a community garden back there. You know what I mean? So there's people locally that are doing some amazing things. So let's get out and support them as well, and give them that energy, because a lot of times it's not easy. It's not easy being a small business owner. and then it's double not easy when you're a small business owner and you're putting your people first.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we run up against where we get disappointed in the love that sometimes we might get from our own people to a certain extent, but we have to understand why it's like that. Understand that it's still rooted in white supremacy and the stuff that comes from that, the stimulation from that. But it's not easy. So definitely try to support those small business owners. So try to support those in your community that are doing positive things, that are doing a community service, that are giving back to our youth, that are doing things that's changing the narrative. Because they're appreciated. I know we appreciate when people take the time, to go on and give us a comment and say, hey, these brothers provided great customer service today. That means a lot to us. You know what I mean?
Service.
So we appreciate that. So definitely, I would just encourage the community to continue to support those who are on the pavement doing the work and are willing to put forth the effort to stand up for you and encourage you and inspire you. Give them support, and then that support is going to come via financial support. It's going to come between communication and sharing and broadcasting and word of mouth. Spreading the word about what they're doing. That's going to come from going out supporting their events. Sometimes people's events aren't even, it's not a cost to it. You just got to go out there, show your face. You can't stay 2 hours, go for 30 minutes. Support the program. There you go.
Take a picture.
There you go.
What is called? Do y'all follow Black business owners in Charlotte? It's like
there's one on social media.
I think there's two. There's like one of Charlotte and one's in Charlotte.
One of them. I'm definitely on one of them.
But I know the one. I think I follow both. But with Kathy, I think that's his name. But he's the one who started. But they next week or the week after that coming up, they're doing a Black restaurant week.
Gotcha. Yep. I'm in that one. I'm in that one. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to tag that in. Yeah. I also know next weekend for everybody. Next weekend I don't got my watch on. I thought I had the date on it. But next weekend, they're looking for volunteers they're making food, bags of food and stuff. And, so if y'all want to volunteer, I'm going to post the information. But, I mean, it's little stuff you can do.
Definitely. We all got our social media platforms. Yeah. So when you go to that Black-owned restaurant, you go to that Black-owned business, take a picture, boom, take a picture with the owner or whatever. Take a picture with the staff there, highlight them, shout them out. That's something we can do. Each and every day. And it really goes a long way. Yeah, it really goes a long way.
It's the details that matter.
100%. 100%.
True that. It's good though. Like can't even remember what I was gonna ask you. We doing the thing though. Yeah. But anything else you want to shout out?
Just continue to, once again, we appreciate the love to get to the point where we're 6 years. So we appreciate, the people that have a big platform, like those like the Dr. Umar Johnsons or like the Zoe Williams that have embraced the PowerInOne brand and, been able to, encourage others via their platforms to support us. We appreciate them, but we appreciate the everyday person that we come across when we're doing pop-ups that continue to buy. We appreciate that customer in Detroit that buys every time we have something new. We just shipped her a new item the other day. We should appreciate her coming back, supporting the brand.
Dedication. And she's supporting.
Yeah, 100%. And we appreciate our family, all our families that, support us, that come to events, and just, continue to embrace the brand and just give us those encouraging words. We are the Revolution's favorite label, PowerInOne Clothing, www.pioclothing.com. If the Revolution had a label, it would be our clothes. PowerInOne Clothing. We're celebrating 6 years. 6 years. 6 years of inspiring lifestyles, empowering lifestyles through fashion. So continue to check us out. Even on our website, we have, we put blogs on there. We like to have.
I think I saw a couple of y'all blogs.
We like to have little stimulating conversations on there as well. So, and in Charlotte, we're at an event right now called Tribe Called Fresh over there in Camp North End. It's popping right now. So shout out to Carrie.
Tribe Called Fresh.
Yeah, Tribe Called Fresh. I think it's going till 9:00 tonight over there. But definitely, it's a cool spot over there. I haven't been over there since I've been in Maryland. I haven't been there since they kind of developed that. So there's a lot of Black-owned businesses over there, Black-owned studios. We did our photo shoot today at a Black-owned studio, photographer. So definitely check that out. Definitely support that. And yeah. I mean, we're excited, man. We're excited, and we're excited about the journey. And we'll always continue to say, we're protected and guided by our ancestors. So as long as we got that, we know this is going to be a success. We know we're going to continue to have an impact in our community. We know we're going to continue to have an impact on our youth as well, to be able to see small business owners, brothers that are doing some positive, brothers and sisters, that's a part of this team that are doing some positive things. So we're excited about it, and we really appreciate everybody continuing to rock with us.
I'm with it, and I'm proud. I love to see Black people like doing well. Like even if you're not where you want to be and you had that dream, I love to see Black people succeed or starting or having some kind of vision and rolling with it. Because I feel like there's so many people now who are trying to be like this person they see or trying to be like the next, and it's like you over here compressing the thoughts that's in your mind. Like, what are your dreams? What 10 years ago, what did you want to do? Like, don't compromise yourself. Don't compromise yourself just trying to keep up with trends or with celebrities or whatever latest fashion. Like, where are you at? What will make you happy? Because at the end of the day, you got to look at yourself every day in the mirror.
Absolutely. Be true to yourself. Like, when it come down to it, if you can come home with that mirror, like I said, it just feels good to be free. I'll be honest. It feels good. That's a good feeling. And when you stay true to yourself, stay true to your culture, stay true to your people, it's just an amazing thing, and there's some amazing stuff that is going to be able to come out there. You know what I mean? In this world of give and take, often there's not enough people willing to give what it takes. But be that person that's willing to give what it takes on a daily basis, because you're really going to have an impact. It's going to impact current, people currently, but it's also going to impact our future. And it's going to change this whole narrative. So, yeah, definitely.
I think the question has to be for the people is, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? See, I think the thing is, if we have to give up something that's going to inconvenience our normal day lifestyle, that's where the problem starts. That's when we start making excuses. You know what I'm saying? What are you willing to do? You see what I'm saying? What are you willing to give up?
Definitely.
Right. And like I said, and don't wait for something to happen to come to your freaking doorstep. You know what I mean? Realize that it's at our doorstep now collectively. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just realize that and get involved. Understand what's going on. Tap in. Tap in. You like that word? Tap in.
I do. Tap in.
So tap
Definitely
in. But yeah, don't wait. Don't wait for it. Be worthy of the revolution. Yeah. And that and that couple of lines that I wrote, I just said, if I happen to lose my life via a white supremacy, just know I'm worthy of the revolution. So basically saying, tear shit up if you need to. If you happen to tear some shit up, I was worthy of it because I was with it all along. I'm with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me say this too. I gotta add this to it. You got a lot of Black folks that come on social media, and they quoting Bible scriptures and talking about this and that. And I say, how you scared of the white man at your job, but you say you're protected by God?
Hello.
See what I'm saying? So your God's power stops at the white man, and that's who you scared of now? See what I'm saying? Right. How you scared?
I mean, it's crazy.
And I'm talking about my big Bible thumpers that come on every day. I'm covered in the blood and all that stuff. But you scared of Mr. Charlie at the job. How you scared of Mr.
Right.
What blood you covered in?
I know you need a job, but sometimes it's crazy. Like, I know at I guess that's my job, but that ain't where I'm going to be soon. But at my other job, I had a situation with this girl who worked there. The situation had me heated. And, sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles, and this is a battle I rode with.
Right.
Because my whole thing is I go to my job, I do my work, I'm good at my job, I go home. I don't want that extra drama. I don't even get involved. I have my headphones in all of the day. Like, I don't want no problems. And I sent her an email about something, asking her a question, and she popped off through the email. And I was like, you know what? Emails and texts can get misconstrued. Let me chill. So I told her, I was like, well, I'm coming to your desk and we can discuss this. Pulled up at her desk. She decided she was going to dip out. I was like, all right, cool. Next morning we talked about it. And she had after she was real nasty about it, after that, like, the question I didn't even care about no more. It was more so the respect thing. Like, you need to humble yourself. You out of control. This ain't, I don't care we work the same job or whatever favoritism you think you got. It's just, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm not going to say nothing back. But she tried to pull I was attacked card when she got her feelings hurt. Mind you, I ain't cursed. I mean, I played her game.
Right.
And her, when she got her feelings hurt, I ain't cursed, I ain't nothing. So I was like, you know what? Let me do this their way, so you can understand. I can insult you the black way. I can kick your butt if it needs to get there. I can play politics. You need to know that I'm about that life. So I went straight to who I needed to. Everybody got addressed because it's like, we're not gonna do this. You're not gonna say that. I hate when they say that, especially about black people. You were attacked. You were attacked.
The white male female victim card, that white female victim card.
Like that ain't gonna work with me. That's gonna make me mad. Like, we not gonna do that.
Right.
That situation had me heated. I was like, she crazy. She think I was let her get away with that. Like, if that my job's on the line, it's on my line. You know, it's on the line.
Right.
But you're not gonna say I'm wrong because I wasn't wrong. You were out of line, and I made it known when I went to HR. I had times, dates, names. I treated them just like people treat black folks because she tried to involve other folks. And it's like, that's cool, but their name's in it too. And then they having a conversation where I didn't want to be involved. Well, you were. If I get in the car and something happened and stuff go down, I'm guilty by association. Welcome to the black world. It is what it is.
Yeah, you definitely got to, you got to stand up for yourself because at the end of the day, jobs are going to come and go, all of that. But, can you look yourself in the mirror? Can you look at your kids in the mirror? And this, or can you look your kids in the eye and say, hey, I have my dignity. Yeah. I'm not shucking and jiving and all of that stuff, man. So, this, that's the thing to stay connected to.
The problem is we have to rely on the same people that's oppressing us for our survival.
Yeah. And we need to rely on ourselves.
And that's the trap. Right. That's the trap. The jobs, that's what enslaves us, is the fact that we got to live. We got to survive. And we have to deal with so much disrespect at the workplace, and then when we come home and finally get a chance to release, all that venom goes to our spouses, our boyfriends, girlfriends, kids. Then that breaks our homes down. See what I'm saying? Because people have to wear that mask at work from 8 to 5, and they come home, and then all hell breaks loose at the house.
Right. So once again, and that circles back to what we were saying earlier, liberate through economics. Like, so a challenge to small business owners is, what are you doing within your brand? What are you doing within your company to be able to take it to the next level, where you can actually start employing people from your community? So that's a challenge. So, I know it's an uphill battle as a small business owner, but that should be a goal for all of us, where we can get to a point where we're able to provide jobs, provide those internship experiences. Definitely. You know what I mean? So it's more than just your current company. It's a responsibility that we should have, to be able to give back because it makes an impact. I was telling somebody a story the other day. My dad became paralyzed like 3 months after I was born. So pretty much all I knew in life was, him utilizing a wheelchair. But, he was my football coach. He was a Paralympic athlete. He represented the United States in '92 in Barcelona as a power lifter, finished 5th overall. But I always tell people that a lot of stuff that people took for granted, they take for granted now, like having a lift on a wheelchair, a lift on a bus, a city bus, or having these ramps and stuff.
They didn't have all that.
They didn't have that. Like, I remember going with my dad, like at 5 years old, and they surrounded the Coca-Cola building in Atlanta, protesting. People with disabilities surrounded that building because there wasn't how people with disabilities were being treated through that company, or pulling up to a city bus. You know what I mean? And saying, hey, I want to get on. But we know they didn't have a ramp, but just making them say, hey, you know what I mean? So if we start doing certain things, making that impact, making that connection, giving back to our community, gelling, connecting to our PowerInOne, stuff can change. You know what I mean? Because stuff changed with that. You know what I mean? Like I said, in the 80s, it weren't ramps, it weren't lifts and stuff like that. But people say, hey, we want to surround the cars and get to it. Like I said, I know our cars, in our journey, in our battle, might not see those changes immediately or within the time frame or something like that, but we have to start somewhere, and we'll start gradually. This thing will start gradually going. When we build that trust level and that love for one another and our community, that's some amazing stuff. So, like I said, even on a daily basis, when you see somebody say, "How you doing, Queen? How you doing, King?"
It's a little thing.
That right there just changes the whole narrative. Some people, they'll be kind of surprised. Like, hey, look, I had it before. My name ain't Queen. My name. But even with that, you know what? I said, oh, I'm sorry. What is your name, Queen? Yeah. I say Queen again, but then, okay, how you doing? So it changes the narrative, man. Yeah. We have a lot. We're loving people, but sometimes just through what we've been through, we forget to love one another and love each other. So, if we continue to do that, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
And we gotta stop dividing within. I mean, I'm guilty of doing this at one point where, like, even when it came to dating, I wouldn't date a dark skinned person or a light skinned person, that kind of thing, because I associated it. Well, honestly, for me, it just came from a place of hurt. Like, I kept getting hurt by this type of person.
Right.
Let me not do that anymore. But then, like, looking back now, it's like, that's silly. All that mess is silly. I'm light skinned, I'm dark skinned, I'm this. You black. We all black. Right. I mean, they're not gonna be like, oh, well, we're not gonna arrest you because you light skinned. No, you're going to jail. You black. You are black. Be thankful you're black. I feel like being black is like the best thing in the world. Yeah, we got a bunch of trials and things that we got to overcome, but I mean, you blessed. You was so blessed. You highly favored. You're the elite race on this planet. Like, come on.
That's why they got to do so much to keep us down, because we are elite.
Yeah, like,
if we were truly inferior, like the story they're trying to tell, you wouldn't have to do this stuff to keep us down. You keep everything fair, and we would just naturally be at the bottom.
Yeah.
But they got to try to manipulate and do all this stuff behind the scenes to keep you down.
And we still rise.
And we still, look at us now. Because most people who would have gone through what we've gone through wouldn't even be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, because, I mean, we turned this into a whole another conversation, but go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you guys for coming. You want to shout out social media? Or you?
Oh, yeah. At PowerInOne. Spelled together with no spaces, PowerInOne. Tweet our website, PIOclothing.com.
Absolutely.
Also at Ryan Lucas.
Yeah.
At Ryan Lucas.
Ryan
Lucas.
Lucas.
That's the other guy.
Yeah. Ryan Lucas DC. Okay. So at Ryan Lucas DC. Continue to check out his music on there. It's RyanLucasDC.com as well. Could look at that platform. Stay connected with us. For those in Charlotte, make sure you make plans to join us for Empowering Lifestyles Weekend. Like I said, it takes place the second weekend in July every year. You can go to www.elwqc.com to stay connected with that movement. Also, this past year, we had a smaller level. I was like, it was our first inaugural Malcolm X Day celebration. So we're going to look to have that again coming up for Malcolm X's birthday.
That's why y'all had Malcolm X on the website?
Yeah, for that one. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we want to, take that and make that a bigger thing around Charlotte as well. So, and then stay connected with us for our moves in all our markets. So in DC as well as in LA. So it's a good spot on Instagram. You can see what we got going on. You can see where we're going to be at as far as our next pop-up shops.
Okay.
So like I said, we really appreciate rocking out with you.
Thank you for
you know
coming.
what I'm saying?
This is dope.
And another shout out to my grandma.
Go ahead, shout
90th birthday. She had a good time today. And I had to fight back the tears. She said she's really thankful, and she's thankful to God that she was allowed to just to continue to be here and raise her 3 daughters. Oh. Yeah, so and my aunts are just so beautiful, and they all like my 3 aunts and my mom, my mom and my 2 aunts and my grandma, when they together, man, this is black gold. There's nothing like a black woman. Man, black gold, 100%. So we appreciate it being here.
Black people.
100%.
Love black people.
The Revolution's favorite label is PowerInOne Clothing. We're celebrating 6 years. 6 years. PIOclothing.com. PowerInOne, y'all. Stay connected.
And we out. Well, no, we not. Okay. You got me excited. I'm like, oh, that's it.
We out this piece.
That's dope. But thank you guys. Thank you for coming. I mean, y'all really just. I'm glad everything worked out.
And hold up, we appreciate you rocking with us. And tomorrow for PIO Day, October the 15th, we know you're gonna go on your social media.
Sure will. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
I like this.
And you're gonna put on the gear that we just right there. You got the PowerInOne. This is the Africa Unity tank. You got Africa, Mother Africa on, and it got PowerInOne in there. And then you also got the new. We don't need.
Oh, that's the one I saw.
Their approval.
Let me tell y'all about this hoodie. This hoodie is fire. I saw it when I was at AZ Homecoming.
Yeah, so we appreciate you, and we know tomorrow you're gonna post PIO6 and PowerInOne, and continue to do that. Not just on October the 15th. Continue to do that throughout the year, as we celebrate 6 years of empowering lifestyles through fashion. Absolutely, we appreciate you, sister.
Thank you to my beautiful brothers, kings. Everybody make sure you check out BlackUnityMovement.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook just coming up, Black Unity Movement 17, BUThePodcast, and we out.
Peace.